My fiance's ex secretly became our wedding planner to destroy our entire wedding. We'd been engaged for 8 months when our wedding planner stopped answering her phone. My fiance Brooke and I had hired Margot 4 months earlier after a friend recommended her, paid her company deposits for everything from the venue to the caterer, and watched her send us polished mood boards and timeline spreadsheets that made the whole thing feel like it was actually going to happen. Then the venue called on a Tuesday morning and told us they'd canceled our reservation for non-payment. I called Margot 6 times that day. Every call went to voicemail. I texted. Nothing. Brooke tried emailing. Silence. I told myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe the venue made a mistake. Maybe Margot's phone died. I looked up the business address on her website and plugged it into my GPS. The address led me to a strip mall 20 minutes outside the city. I parked in front of the unit number and stared at a UPS store, not an office next to a UPS store, the UPS store itself. I walked inside and asked the clerk if there was a wedding planning business operating out of this location. She looked at me like I'd asked if they sold cars. "We rent mailboxes," she said. I stood there holding my phone with Margot's business card pulled up on the screen. The address matched. I asked if they had a mailbox under the business name Enchanted Events. She checked her system and nodded. "Mailbox 217, but we can't give out information about the renter." I drove home with my hands locked on the wheel. Brooke was sitting at the kitchen table with her laptop open when I walked in. She looked up and asked what the office was like. "It's a mailbox," I said. Her face went blank. "What do you mean?" "The address on her website. It's a UPS store mailbox. There's no office. There's nothing." She pulled up our bank statements and started scrolling. We'd paid Margot in 4 installments over 4 months. Venue deposit, caterer deposit, florist, photographer. The total came to $23,000. All of it paid to Enchanted Events LLC through a business checking account Margot had set up. Brooke's hands started shaking. She opened her email and found the last message from Margot, sent 3 days earlier, confirming that everything was on track for the wedding in 6 weeks. I called the caterer. They told me they'd never received a deposit and had no record of our wedding date being booked. I called the florist. Same story. I called the photographer. She said Margot had reached out months ago to ask about availability, but never followed up with a contract or payment. Brooke stared at the screen and whispered, "She took all of it." My phone buzzed. An email from Margot's business address. The subject line said, "Regarding your event." I opened it. The message was 2 paragraphs long. Margot wrote that she was disappointed to inform us that multiple vendors had backed out due to our behavior as clients. She said we'd been difficult to work with, made unreasonable demands, and created a hostile environment that left her no choice but to step away from the project. She wrote that she understood we were upset, but this was the result of our own actions. She wished us well and said she would not be responding to further contact. I read it twice. Brooke read it over my shoulder and made a sound I'd never heard her make before. I tried calling Margot again. The number was disconnected. Brooke's parents showed up that evening because Brooke had called her mom crying. Her father stood in our living room and asked how I'd vetted this person. I told him she'd come recommended by a mutual friend, had a professional website, sent us contracts, and responded to every email for 4 months. He asked if I had copies of the contracts. I pulled up my email. The attachments wouldn't open. The links were dead. Her mother asked if we had any physical paperwork, any receipts beyond bank transfers. We didn't. I sat on the couch and stared at the wedding date circled on our calendar. 6 weeks away. No venue, no caterer, no flowers, $23,000 gone. I need to get this fixed ASAP. Full story on my channel below.